It's time to make some cute bunny decor for Easter. Hello, I am Katie, the Crafty Blog Stalker, and I am so excited today to be teaching this class on how to make this super cute Every Bunny is Welcome door hanger. I hope you are as excited to make this as I was. It really is a fun project. I've got all the supplies laid out that we're going to be using, and I do have links to all of these items either in the blog post or the description of this video, so make sure to check those out. We're going to be using a glue gun, and our Cricut tools. We've got a scraper and a weeding tool and our green standard grip mat. For our vinyl, we're going to be using pink, white, and black, as well as some transfer tape. Now, did you know with vinyl that all permanent vinyl is glossy and all removable vinyl is matte? So as you can see, we are using permanent vinyl for our project. Then I've got some 2.5-inch wired ribbon, some wire, and we're going to be applying our decal using the wet method. So we need a small spray bottle, some dish soap, any brand, it doesn't matter the brand, and a towel. The Every Bunny is Welcome SVG is a design I created specifically for this project, and I have made it available for you to download for free. So make sure and grab that before we hop on over to Cricut Design Space. We're going to open a new project. Now I am on a computer. If you're on a device, then Cricut Design Space will look a little bit different for you. Some of the icons may be in a different location, but the process is still the same. I'm going to go to upload, and I'm going to upload that free Every Bunny is Welcome SVG, and I'm just going to drag it in. It already comes in with the name. If you'd like to add tags, you can, but you don't have to. I'm going to click on upload, and it drops it into my recent uploads. I'm going to highlight it and add to my canvas. I already have everything sized to fit our 13-inch pizza pan, so I can just click over to make it. And we have our mat previews with our different mats. And I don't know why it put bunny on its own mat. So let's go ahead and move it. We're going to click on those 3 dots, move object, and we're going to put it with the ears, and then we're just going to slide it over so it all fits on there nicely. So I've got my 3 mats. I do not need to mirror. Before we load our vinyl to cut, I want to show you how I prepare my vinyl. I'm going to turn my mat so I can see my numbers along the bottom, and with the cover still on, I'm going to roll it out. And when I go to the mat preview, it shows me the size of vinyl I need to cut. So I can see for the pink vinyl, I need to cut a 7 by 12-inch length. So I can roll it out on my mat and find that 7-inch mark and then just cut. For white, I need about 9.5 inches. And I find this a lot easier than trying to count the squares. And for the black, I need about a 3 by 5. So I will start with the 3, then cut the 5, and then I can put this piece in my scrap pile. Then to apply my vinyl, I'll remove that protective sheet. I'm going to turn it, and we're going to start with our white piece. And I kind of just hold it because you don't want pieces to stick to the mat before you're ready for them to stick. So you just kind of hold them up as best you can, and I drag my pieces onto my mat and line up that top edge, and then I can roll the rest of that vinyl onto my mat. And we are ready to continue. The vinyl that I am using is the premium vinyl. It's the glossy. And I'm going to click here to remember material settings since I will be using the same vinyl on all 3 mats. And then I am ready to go to my Cricut. Then I can load my mat and start the cut. And I'm going to repeat for the next 2 mats of the pink and black vinyl, following the prompts in Cricut Design Space so I know which color to load next. When removing items from the mat, you always want to turn the mat over and remove the mat from the material. This will keep you from bending the material. I know it's not as important with vinyl, but especially important with paper, you want to turn the mat over. Then when we're done with the mat, we want to put on our protective sheet right away, and this will help prolong the life of the mat. And I do this the same way. I drag it on from the top, aligning that little hole, and then pressing it down. Now my favorite weeding tool is this weeding tool that has the little hook there at the end. Now we're gonna start weeding, and with these smaller pieces, we just kind of wanna, I don't know, make sure that those cuts are all the way through, and we can kind of do that just by running our fingers along it in different directions, and that will help it stick to the backing paper and not to the vinyl when we weed it. So I always start in the left-hand corner. I don't really know why it's the left-hand corner. It's just kind of habit. And we're going to carefully weed and make sure that all of those little letters are sticking to the backing paper. You always want to move nice and slow. And now that I've got my first big piece, I like to kind of just loop it and stick it to my surface. And then I can use it to hold those other little pieces that I pull out, like from the centers of the letters. Okay, and then we can move on to our pink piece. Now if you wanted to, there is a pretty good section right here that wasn't used. So if you wanted to, you could cut that out and save that scrap. Okay, we're gonna start at that upper left-hand corner. And slowly peel. Then remove the center of our letters. And our white one. I also feel like pulling it down helps instead of trying to weed straight up. You just pull as much sideways as you can. Now our bunny, our word bunny, we can cut that out. And our eyeballs, we can cut that apart. Okay, so there are the different pieces that we need. And I'm actually gonna trim this off too. And let's add some transfer tape to our bunny ears, since that is the first piece that we are going to apply. And I just laid it over the top, and then I'm cutting along those grid lines. I'm gonna grab my weeding tool and try and pick it up from that backing sheet. Just peel back that backing sheet. And then to apply the transfer tape, again, I'm just going to pull it in from the top, kind of hold it as much as of a V as I can. And got a little bit of a fold in there, that's okay. And then roll it on to my piece. Grab my scraper tool. Push that on. Now, I know this white piece is kind of hard to see with my white background, but you'll be able to see it when we put it on our pizza tin. So let's take off this little label, and we're going to apply this using the wet method. So I've got my hand towel and my little spray bottle here. So let's open this up. This is just a little 2-ounce bottle, but you could really use any size of a spray bottle. Then I'm gonna take my dish soap, and I just need, especially for this little tiny bottle, I barely need any. So I'm just gonna try and put in just a drop, and I'm gonna fill this up with water. And then I can put my lid back on. And what that soap does is it just kind of helps make it a little bit slippery. And I know you would think adhesive and water don't mix, but this method works really well. So I'm going to turn this over and remove the backing paper to the vinyl, making sure that that vinyl decal now sticks to the transfer tape. And we have some air bubbles in there. That's okay. We can work those out when we move it over. Now we're going to take our water, and we're going to lightly mist our metal pie tin. And we're going to mist the back of the decal as well. And I'm going to trim right here around the base just to make placement just a little bit easier. And what the wet method does is it allows you to move stuff around. So we want this edge of our white decal to go right along the inside edge of our pie tin. We can put that down. And put that along the edge. We want to line up that edge first. And then we are just going to push it down with the scrapey tool. And now what we're trying to do is to push out all of that water that is behind our decal. Those little popping noises are the bubbles that you're pushing out. Now I'm going to take my rag, and I'm going to be using this rag to soak up that extra water that we're pushing out. Okay, let's start at the bottom, and we're going to start peeling this back. Now the first little part is a little tricky because since we used water, it doesn't want to stick. So take your scraper tool, and you can hold down that vinyl with your scraper tool as you're pulling back that transfer tape. Okay. Now we can use that towel again to push down and help push out that water from behind our decal. And again, I'm pulling straight back. I'm not pulling up with the transfer tape. I'm pulling it straight back. And I'm going to continue to use that towel to just push out that water. And there is our first layer, our white layer to our cute little bunny. And if you've never tried the wet method before, I highly suggest trying it. It's really kind of magical how it works out so well. Next, we're going to do our ears. And again, I'm just going to lay this over the top and cut it to the size I need, and making sure not to cut the vinyl underneath. Peel back our transfer tape, and this transfer tape we will reuse. So we're going to roll that on to our cute little pink ears. Now we are not going to do the wet method to apply these pieces. We're just going to apply them right on top. Peel back our backing paper, and this part of the nose, it's going to go right along the bottom. So that's the part we want to line up first. I'm going to trim that because it wants to stick to the side of my pan. So we're going to center that as best as we can. Lay down our pink nose first. And then roll. I'm a fan of the roll. Have you noticed? Press that down and then peel it back. If I can grab it. And again, straight back. our eyeballs, we really just need like a little section. So I'm just going to cut some of that out, apply it on, peel the back, and line up our cute little eyeballs. And our bunny's coming together. Look at how cute he is. Okay, now we're gonna start with the bunny, and we're gonna pick up that part, roll that on there, and peel back the backing tape. I think a big mistake that a lot of people make is they try and peel this way, and they try and remove the transfer tape from the backing paper, when you want to remove the backing paper from the vinyl. Okay, and now we've got our every is welcome, and we're gonna center our every bunny is a welcome over that. I'm gonna cut some of this off. Again, remove that backing paper from the transfer tape. If any part doesn't stick, just lay it back down and rub over it with your finger. There we go. Every bunny is welcome. Look at how cute that is. Okay, so now we're going to place that on here. Now the first thing you need to decide is, do you want your bunny to be up and down? Do you want it to kind of be at the side? I think I want him to be at the side. And then I'm going to just kind of eyeball that. But I do want to roll it on. So starting from the left to the right, lay it down and roll. Use my scraper tool and then peel back the transfer tape. Straight back. Now we're almost done, but we still need a cute little bow. To make our bow, I've got this cute 2.5-inch wired ribbon, and we are just going to use our hands to make this ribbon, or to make this bow. So I'm going to start with my tail, and I'm going to leave that down, and I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to keep everything pinched here in the center. Now this ribbon is the same on the front and on the back. So if you're using a ribbon that is faded on the back, then you'll have to kind of twist each time to make sure that that right side is out. Now with this ribbon, it doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to make another loop, and I want it to be about the same size as my first loop. Again, just pinching everything there in the center. Then I'm going to make another loop about the same size. Pinching in the center. Pinching in the center. Wired ribbon is so forgiving. I love wired ribbon. Okay, and then we're going to cut another length off. That's going to be our tail, or ends, you know what I mean. And then I've got this wire right here that I've already cut. It's maybe 6 inches, and that's probably too long, but that's okay. We're going to put that in the center. And twist the back a couple times to make it nice and tight. And now we are going to fluff. This is why wired ribbon is so amazing, because it really is super forgiving. Because you can just reshape it however you need, because I'm horrible at tying bows. There, that looks good. And then I am going to dovetail my ends. So I'm going to fold it in half, and starting from the center, the fold, I'm going to cut down. And do that again to the other side. That looks pretty cute. And then bring in our Every Bunny is a Welcome door hanger. I've got my cordless glue gun. Now I have to tell you guys, this is like my favorite tool in my whole craft room, besides my Cricut, of course, is my cordless glue gun. I love it. So we're gonna glue that on. Just put a big old pile on there, and then hold that for just a minute while it sets. And there is our cute little door hanger. Oh, I love it so much. Although, how are we going to hang it on our door? Okay, I might have forgotten that, but it's okay. We are going to, I grabbed some ribbon and we're going to try not to smush our bow. We spent so long fluffing, and I've just got some simple black ribbon, and I am just going to glue it to the back so then it can hang on that little piece of ribbon. Now if you wanted to, you could create a longer piece and have a piece that it actually hangs from, that you can see the hanger, but I don't want to see the hanger. See, I was planning this the whole time. There, now our cute little every bunny is welcome is finished. Thank you for joining me today, and if you want more fun craft tutorial videos, make sure to visit my website, thecraftyblogstalker.com. And as you finish your cute little every bunny is welcome door hangers and post them to social media, tag me at thecraftyblogstalker because I want to see what you have created. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to download that free SVG so that you can make your own bunny door hanger. Thanks everyone. Bye and happy crafting.